to Alliance, Ohio. One last game left in the OAC schedule. It is the men's championship game, and the second-seeded Mount Union Purple Raiders at 22-5, taking on the fifth-seeded Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets at 19-8. Mike Kernan, Scoop Miller, and thousands of our friends here inside this building. And Scoop, one thing you look at this game coming in, you absolutely have to love this atmosphere.
Oh, you really do. This is what college basketball will be about. We have a great showing for the Mount Union student body here tonight. They're packed to the rafters on both sides, and it should be. We have two quality teams getting ready to duke it out.
And you just look at the way that these teams came through the course of this game. Baldwin Wallace knocked off top-seeded Capital to get here. Mount Union beat John Carroll on Thursday night in the semis. These teams have seen each other twice already. They split the home and home. Mount Union, though, trying to protect what we have been pointed out is their house for the 17th straight time. They have won 17 straight at home, looking to go 18 and into the NCAA tournament. Yeah,
they've had a tremendous run at home. 13-0 this season, as you mentioned, Mike, 17 in a row. They'd love to make it 18, but they're going to have the work cut out as a Baldwin Wallace team comes in playing their best basketball of the season.
Teams are ready, the fans are ready, the national anthem on its way. We'll tell you all about the starters, our keys, and get you set for tonight's monumental matchup between Mount Union and Baldwin Wallace here in just a few. So a terrific version of the national anthem there as we get ready to take a look at the starting lineups. The Bluebirds in the air, and somehow they keep getting into the building. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, you see their starting lineup in Jay Battle at 17.7 points per game, one of the leading scorers in the OAC. Michael Curing wearing number 3. He is a big part of this team out of Brunswick High School at just under 11 points a game. Kyle Nader out of Vermilion at 8.5 points a game. Luke Schaefer from Medina, a sophomore, at 8 points a game. And Tyler Colombo out of Tuscarora Central Catholic at 9.5 points a game. The 6'6" junior for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets under the direction of fourth-year head coach Tom Heil at 68 and 41. And it might be a little bit hard to hear from what is about to happen. The Purple Raiders starting lineup for Coach Mike Kuline. 8 years, 136 wins and 82 losses for the OAC's Coach of the Year in 2014. We will start Andrew Francisconi, number 5, a 6'5" senior, an academic All-Ohio pick. Get this is my favorite thing about this kid. His major is National Security and Foreign Intelligence Analysis. Do you even know what that is, Scoop?
I'm just lucky I can pronounce that, so there's no way I know what it is, but certainly a bright young man, very cerebral on the court as well.
Tommy Stanger, a second-team All-OAC pick this year at 12.3 points per game, wearing number 10. Devontae Friga, a 6'2" junior, an exercise science major at Cuyahoga Falls High School, wears 11. Nathan Bauer-Malone, a first-team pick in mechanical engineering major from Stowe High School. 33 points against ONU earlier this year. He can fill it up at 13 a game. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Mount Union Purple Raiders at 22-5, Jallo Niamke, business major, and he's had a couple of really good goes against this Baldwin Wallace team. As you look at the keys to the game, he is going to be one of those we'll talk about on the other side. But you look, Coach, look at Baldwin Wallace.
Well, the key for them, they want to get to the foul line. In their 2 tournament wins where they upset Wilmington at Wilmington and Capital at Capital, they shot 25 more free throws than those 2 teams. In the game that they won against Mount Union earlier this season, they outscored them 18-6 from the line. So I think that's going to be key. Obviously, the defense there, when Mount Union shoots, when they win, they shoot over 53% from the floor. In their losses, they've shot just 30%.
We talk about Jay Battle, about keeping him average right at 16 in both games, but not letting him get out and score. He can do it in a hurry.
There you see the keys there for Mount Union. Shoot the basketball. In games where they've scored 70-plus points, they're 21-0. In games where they've been held under 70, just 1-5. And they certainly want to score off their defense. That's a great way to get that shooting percentage going to get some confidence.
We'll talk about Jallo Niamke as well, because he has had 32 points in the first 2, but right to the basket is Devontae Friga. 10.6 a game, puts the first 2 off the glass, and it is going to be a rowdy night here in Alliance. You can already feel every time something goes right for Mount Union, it gets louder and louder in here. Skip into the corner for 3. Beautiful setup for Luke Schaefer out of Medina with the 3.
Well, excellent start right there for the Yellow Jackets. Great ball movement. They got other players involved. And Schaefer, you give him time to spot up. He's that deadly 3-point shooter. He knocks down the first tray of the game.
That is, you talk about keep shooting and avoiding mistakes. Just a little bit of putting it on the floor for Tommy Stanger. He lost his footing. 2 defenders running at you at high speed will probably do that. Well,
much better job that time by the Yellow Jacket defense. That time they bodied up. They got a little bit physical on the drive. And once they rerouted him, he lost his footing, and that's the first turnover of the night.
I would dare say that the Mount Union student section is not very thrilled about that call. His battle works quickly. You see, again, it's about getting him going if you're Baldwin Wallace. We saw him a couple of weeks ago at home in our OAC game of the week in an odd game that had a bent rim they played on, and he ended up being a big part of that game. Is inside, just working hard. Colombo, his sister was a heck of a player, a 2-time OAC pick at Baldwin Wallace. Apparently, it runs in the family.
That's a solid move there by Colombo, and there's a pick at the other end.
Schaefer to the basket, fouled on his way by Friga. And a pair of free throws upcoming.
Yeah, great read by Luke Schaefer at the defensive end. He gets out in the passing lanes, able to get the pick, and there you see the contact on the arm. He'll get to the line. Again, that's always a key for Baldwin Wallace. You want to get to the foul line early, and that's certainly a great start. Their coach Tom Heil's squad.
I've always argued that our cameraman should get hazard pay. 2 teams met 13 times previously in the tournament. Baldwin Wallace won 10 of those games, and again, any mistake by Baldwin Wallace, in that being a turnover or the fact they don't make a shot or a free throw, it is going to get continually louder from the Mount Union section. You know how you quiet them down? Just knock your free throws down.
Yeah, there you go. And that's why playing at home is so huge for Mount Union. That's why that regular season has at a premium. They finished 14-4 in the OAC. There's a big-time move.
Just cannot finish on his way to the basket. That was Bauer Malone. Now Baldwin Wallace trying to take advantage of it. Another skip. Not the same way that 3 was designed earlier on. Credit to them, though, for not forcing things and just keeping the possession alive.
Yeah, I like how they're reversing the ball right now. They're getting a lot of touches.
Battle didn't like the shot clock, apparently. That was from way out there. He shoots almost 40% from 3, but that's, you got to have faith. Malone now waits for the screen. First couple of minutes gone in a 6-2 game. Jumper, good looking shot for Friga.
Yeah, nice mid-range jumper by Friga. I liked it. Little crossover move, the short pull-up. He made that look awfully easy.
That's the thing you don't get to say much. Mid-range jumper. It's not really a thing anymore. Friga with the rebound. He grabs 4 of those a game, and he's a one-man highlight reel right now to the basket off glass. And you could see in the background, Coach Tom Heil just threw his hands up when his kids went by of, well, if you're not going to guard him, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Friga's feeding off that crowd's energy right now as he goes all the way on a straight line drive to the rim. That's just too easy.
A-Dub and Wiring. They draw the boos every time. Good skip pass across, but the 3 just kind of held in the air and went off the front of the rim.
Yeah, great job right now by the Purple Raiders holding Baldwin Wallace to 1 and done.
That was a show him the ball trick right there and waiting to go by. There's might be, just you can see kind of a little bit of animosity between the 10 guys on the floor right now. They want to win this game. They want to obviously go into the tournament, but you know, it's not exactly a given the winner is going to get an at-large bid. So this is your playing for your season, and you've also played twice. If you're Mount, you feel confident. You won in this building. You held Jay Battle to 16. You need to do that again.
You're exactly right, and as you mentioned, Mike, you know, certainly both these teams are going to leave it all out there, and that's been a big key to their success this season. In fact, that they've been there and they've done that, you know, and both these teams certainly have earned their way to this championship tilt here tonight.
Baldwin Wallace now in its 52nd tournament. It's won 52 games, and that is a 52-man slam. Devontae Friga thankfully didn't break the rim, but he broke the hearts of a lot of beat-up fans.
Now we got the slam there by Friga, but what an assist there, beat by Niamke. Just a great dish inside. That gets that crowd going.
Guarantee that won't be the last time you see that one. Ball inside and the boos the whole time until Kyle Nader can't come down with a shot. He's the 3rd highest scorer in Vermilion history. The problem with that is Joby File, who plays with him, beat his record and he's 2nd. Right now, it's Baldwin Wallace putting up points like they're going out of style.
And there's Tommy Stanger. That's just too deep to allow him with that penetration. He pulls up, and again, another easy bucket, you know, near the lane.
It's kind of another one of those kids you don't really realize how good he was in high school. Todd Blackledge was his high school coach. As Battle knocks down the 3 to bring it to a 1-point game. I feel like Todd Blackledge might know a couple things.
Yeah, 1 or 2. There's a great answer by Jay Battle at the other end. I like how he checked his man off, and once he went to help, it left him with a wide open 3. Those are shots you're going to have to hit tonight because certainly you're not going to get a lot of easy looks.
Speaking of, that was a deep one. But the difference, I thought, there's the foul, but the shot up for Battle, it's almost the same shot from the other wing, but like you said, he made more of a movement to get rid of his defender and get a clean shot.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And again, you know, you're going to have to really utilize that 3-ball tonight. We talked about the importance of being able to shoot the basketball. Both these teams, you know, capable of putting big numbers on the board, but they're also capable of getting into you defensively. So it's going to be important you get good ball movement, and particularly without the basketball in your hands.
Wiring back out top to Battle now on the run all the way through the defense. Left side, right hand, through the middle to give his team an 11-10 lead.
That's a big-time move by Battle. Once again, he's able to penetrate, takes it all the way to the rim.
42nd player in Baldwin Wallace history to hit 1,000. Into Franciscani, the Talmadge High School product, with the 3 right back to the other way.
Well, that's huge. Francisconi is really not one of their high scorers, but he can knock down that J. And another answer at the other end by Jay Battle. Once again, you've got to get the help a little bit sooner. He's just getting too deep in that lane. He's got a great act for finishing inside.
We talked about keeping him average. He averages 17-7 a game. He's got 7 of his team's 13 right now. 3-ball for days. You got to be pretty confident, kind of feeling it shooter to be able to even throw that one up, I would think.
Yeah, that was NBA range for sure.
The foul underneath. A pair of 44s going to work as Drew Silva for Baldwin Wallace just got a little too far into John Carroll, who I believe is playing at the wrong school. He's playing at Mount. As soon as I saw his name, I thought, I bet he's gotten that one.
I thought the same thing. How they let him off the hook, I'll never know.
He's from Massillon, so maybe it's the fact that it's a little bit closer to Alliance. 13-13 through the first handful of minutes, 13:43 on the board, and you get the feeling this is going to be like this. We had here on NKT Sports earlier on the Women's Championship. It came down to the last couple of shots. John Carroll got a 3 to take down, at the time, a white-hot Ohio Northern team, but just that kind of thing as you get a look at this replay package. A couple of really good jumpers. There's the 3 from Battle, and he just works his way through the lane for 2 more.
Yeah, that's tough math. He has the outside game going, but then when you overextend, he's got the ability to put the ball off the deck, take it to the rack, and twice he's gotten to point-blank range.
Get a look at the Mount Union student section. They have been here. It is about 7:45 right now. They have been here since about 5:30, and that young lady's trying to fight off taking a nap, but they have been rowdy since about 5:30 when they walked in the door.
Yeah, this is just a tremendous atmosphere. You alluded to that early, but you just have to love the fact that they're out here supporting their team on, and it's been a loud atmosphere. I don't think it's going to get any quieter as this game winds on.
I think it's going to get even more. There's not many games you can go to that they say they need to cap it off at 1,300, and you have an in-house DJ. That's when you know it's going to be rocking. Mount with the basketball, trying to get back that lead. They've been up a couple of times as a screen from Carroll. Didn't really hit him on that rollback, though. Well, Francis got him for 3. That might be why. Back the other way, Drew Silva with a rebound. He had 18 of them against Trine. He's got 10 different games this year where he's got double-figure rebounds. He's that guy off the bench you want to rely on, and he sets a mighty nice screen for Jay Battle.
Again, Battle making it look awfully easy right now. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That time they slipped under on the ball screen. He took advantage.
Battle's got 10 now, completely destroying one of our keys to this game for Mount. Spin inside and the late reach for that foul on Matthew Demetrius.
Well, that time, great job by the Purple Raiders isolating inside. They recognized they had a one-on-one inside with Francisconi. He did a nice job faking to the middle, drop baseline, drew the contact. We'll have a chance to knock down a pair from the line.
3-year letter winner, 2-time captain, 3rd-team All-Ohio at Talmadge High School. Was an academic All-OAC pick last year. Shoots just a shade under 68% from the free throw line.
Yeah, he's certainly going to be a big factor tonight. You know, they have 4 double-digit scores in that starting lineup. He's kind of the odd man out, but what he can do so well, you know, he's got such a high basketball IQ, but we saw that he's not gun shy. He's not afraid to take that open 3. He's going to make you guard him, and that's going to open up some of his teammates.
Jay Battle now gets a different defender in Colin Gurley, the OAC's freshman of the year, and he forces a miss.
Now, great entry there by Battle. Great find. Just couldn't get to finish inside.
Battle trying to provide the defense the other way. I'm not 100% sure, though, that if the guard in Bauer Malone had looked up, he would have realized he was right underneath the basket with an easy shot.
Yeah, I think he just rushed it. He had more time than he realized.
Battle laid out ahead to Sabula. Trying to call for a screen. Again, that's the guy I go to in Silva. 6'8" is the junior. Step back, beautiful shot. Just off the front of the rim. Got his own rebound and got the friendly roll. The world turned the wrong way if you're a Mount fan.
Oh, big time play by Battle. A lot of guys, when they're in that zone, they take that shot, they drift to the other end. That time he followed up, got the rebound, and a heck of a move. You know, with that shot being highly contested, he somehow had the strength, the hang time to get it up off the glass and in. And he's been on fire. Just a great play there once again.
Battle, you get a second look at this foul here. This will be Colin Gurley. I mean, that's pretty good. You put a kid in an armbar on the way down, it's probably a foul.
Yeah, made that an easy call. But again, great recognition there. He saw that the screen was coming, faked the screen way, went baseline where he had a one-on-one.
Gurley for 3 off the screen. It's short. Did not get it near enough of a loft. Didn't set his feet really on that shot, but just destroying keys. Both teams on each side of what the other one wants to do. And it's important to get Gurley going if you're Mount, because in his first 2 games in this series is a long triple off the back rim. He's just 3 for 15 for 6 points. But he's that extra kid, you know he can be a spark.
Oh, absolutely. You know, so much talent out there on both sides of the equation here. But, you know, you alluded to the fact that these guys are destroying those keys. Well, these teams are so well coached. They know each other so well. You know, this is the 3rd meeting just this season alone. But some great adjustments here being had. And, again, it's going to boil down to you have to play for 40 minutes. Both these teams are capable of going off on runs. You've got to weather the storm.
And it also goes back a lot to individual matchups. You see 21 for Baldwin Wallace down running the free throw line. Jack Laskowski, he's a big key coming off the bench. As it rebound again, pulled down by Drew Sova.
Yeah, nice job by Sova. You know, anytime you can keep Mount Union off the glass, that's great math for your defense. They had a great defense possession, but you always have to finish possessions by a rebound. They've done a great job so far.
Wiring with the kick out, the 3 ball and a foul underneath. Sova was thrown to the ground. I think they'll count the shot and the foul.
Yeah, this is
a heck of a possession.
This is going to be big. Not only are they going to get 3 out of it, they've got a dead ball foul. They'll take the ball out of bounds underneath their own basket, so really a chance for a 5-point play.
Well, with the way Baldwin Wallace shoots, it could be a 6-point play. As quick as they are. And that's, that's a thing early. Off the back of the rim. Wiring, it won't get that shot to go, so it stays at 3. Theoretically, no harm, no foul, but both teams already racking up the fouls in record numbers. To the basket off the glass for Gurley. Akron Hoban's all-time leading scorer.
No, big-time move, Colin Gurley. You just can't not let him beat you with his right hand. That time he's able to go all right, got off the glass and in.
Again, these teams obviously very good on the year as the step on the end line. But you just look at who they beat to get here. Number 1 seed Capital, a lot of people thought maybe this was going to be Capital and Mount Union in this game. This game would be in the Columbus area, but credit to Baldwin Wallace for what they were able to do. They went out there in that game, just took it to Capital, and were able to come up with a win. Yeah,
to beat Capital at Capital, they've had so much success over the years, and what a season they had. As you said, they thought this might be that breakthrough year. But again, Baldwin Wallace is playing their best basketball at the right time. They're riding a 4-game win streak, winners of 8 their last 10 ball games. And right now they're playing with a lot of energy.
And what's so hard to look at about these two teams as you bring them in is the fact that they're both so deep off the bench, and the offensive foul just down to the baseline for Mario Kaywood. 6'6" out of Benedictine High School. You can make your own decision here, but I think maybe they got him a little bit with the shoulder, a little bit with the elbow. Well,
I love what Jack Listowski did there for Baldwin Wallace. You know, he anticipated that spin move to the baseline side, was able to get there in time, did a great job of selling the call, and that's as good as a turnover.
Right now, the student section has a penchant for farm animals, I think, on their chants. Something about that. As the one-on-one on the back down results in free throws. Waiting to see how that was going to go. That's on Kaywood. That's 2 quick fouls for a young man that was a defensive team MVP out of high school.
Yeah, tremendous duck under move by Tyler Colombo. Yeah, I like how he had his back to the basket, but what he did so well, he squared up, give the head and shoulders fake. Once he got his defender up in the air, smart job of drawing the contact, gets to the line.
A line drive free throw up and in, and what was at one point a 15-13 lead for the Purple Raiders is now a 22-17 deficit.
I tell you what, you have to be impressed with what Baldwin Wallace has done early here. You know, they've done all they can to take this crowd out of it. That's not going to happen here tonight. You know, we saw the Rowdies here 2 hours prior to tip-off, but again, they're doing their part, playing smart basketball, getting everybody involved, getting a lot of touches inside.
See what both teams will figure out here with the final 8 minutes up on the board, and the spin move off 2 defenders, off the glass and in.
Wow, that's just a sweet, pretty move there by Friga. Again, he recognized he had a one-on-one. He used his athleticism so well. Once he elevates that close, that's just a tough guard. And a great job of using backboard.
Read a lot about him, about how happy Mountain was to be able to get him out of Cuyahoga Falls High School. And they are over the moon about what he has done all the way to the basket. Off the initial ball fake for Luke Schaefer, he didn't so much work his way there with the ball as he bought his way there. Yeah,
great job there by Schaefer. They had a good look inside, couldn't go down. But when he recognized the closeout came out too hard, great move to the hoop.
You see maybe a little bit gun shy inside too is Mount right now because the 2 quick fouls. They have to go back to the outside. Kaywood doesn't want to pick up another one.
And right now, Baldwin Wallace doing a great job on the defensive glass. A lot of times you shoot a 3 ball, you have long shots going to cause long rebounds. You can't just be happy being inside there in the paint. You have to improve your position. And that time they had 3 different guys get a body on somebody inside. Ends up being a foul over the back. And those are big plays that don't show up in the scorebook. But, that's the 16th foul on the Purple Raiders here with 8.5 minutes remaining in the opening half.
Mount Union is shooting 1 of 6 from 3. The difference is Baldwin Wallace is 4 for 8. Each team about 50% from the field. Is firing just too strong with the left hand. He kind of was fading to his left.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. If you're going to your right, that might be the easier shot, but great job that time, and Mount Union forced him to the left. That's a tough shot, and a good answer right there by the Purple Raiders. As you'll see the sort of hesitation move, goes straight to the rack, draws the contact.
Some fans that didn't seem to like that one. The Bluebirds have been released again. So a lot of fouls here early on. You expect that with kind of a tight game, guys playing at a high speed and definitely playing to win this ball game. They're shooting and they're playing like every possession they wanted to end with 50 points. 3 away and short again. Mount with a miss. Oh, and a straight block and a jump ball. Nobody is going to be more hyped than Tyler Colombo on that one.
Wow, what a block by Colombo. He timed that thing perfectly. One of the few offensive rebounds we've seen by Mount Union. But credit Colombo as he came up, timed it well. He's able to draw the jump ball, and they'll get it on the possession arrow.
He's a lot more successful with that at 6'6" than I am at 5'9", for whatever reason. Colombo now tries to back down into post. The junior also lettered in high school for golf for 3 years. Got caught walking like he was going up the fairway.
Well, he had the right idea there. He's not afraid of the contact. That time he tried to back this way in, but a great job by Mount Union when they held their ground. You're trying to push that hard. He lost his footing, and that's a forced turnover by that Purple Raider defense.
See what Coach Bueller can do. He can watch his superstars go to work. The junior and Bauer Malone with a bullet pass underneath to Kaywood for 2.
Yeah, tremendous find there by Bauer Malone. Pocket pass off the dribble.
I think that Jay Battle tried to buy a foul. Referees didn't go for it. Battle again to the rack and block on his way up by Devontae Friga. This is what Mount needs right now, a basket coming out of here. That was kind of a forced no look. Is out towards Battle to the rim. The 2-hand scoop shot layup.
Yeah, what a play by Luke Schaefer to defensive end. Had the presence, dropped ball level, ball depth, made the interception, but then he had the presence get the quick outlet pass in transition. Those are points that can come back to haunt you at times, just too easy.
I think that I look at the bench the other way as the basket goes in for Tommy Stenger. I saw Tom Heil and I realized that he does not wear a tie. He's the only guy on his staff that doesn't wear one, because if he had, a couple of those defensive breakdowns that he's been over there doing, he'd have ditched it a long time ago.
Yeah, I tell you what, he expends a lot of energy on that sideline, and there's another big shot by Jay Battle, NBA 3, but what a half he's had.
He has 17. He averages 17. So keeping him average, well, that's not going real well. A 7-point lead. He's hit a couple from outside. His team now 5 for 9 from downtown.
And right there once again, Tyler Colombo with the rebound. Great job. He's not shying away from that contact at all.
Battle all the way to the rim. He was thinking about a dunk, but then he realized he's not 7 feet tall. Tried to change his style and had 2 guys there waiting. There he Good to see you, Coach Heil. He's rocking the beard game, too. The turnaround will not make him happy. Devontae Friga will probably haunt his nightmares. He's now got 12.
That great answer that time by Friga. That time he's able to come off the dribble, made the spin move. Once again, mid-range jumper, something you don't see a lot of in this day and age.
The runner partially altered from Kyle Nader. He gets the air ball chant. I think it was more of a block, honestly, but don't ever let me be the thought process for a student section. Let us be chanting about cheeseburgers. Final 5 minutes up on the board in a 5-point game in the first half. Riding his man all the way to the basket, but not able to get it to drop. Was Baldwin Malone in a chase for the basketball. I'm just amazed that he was able to keep dribbling. Baldwin Malone for 3. Off the back rim, and wow.
They got a break there. That ball went off to one of the supports. The referee did not see it. So they'll get another possession here. See if they can take advantage. The crowd coming to its feet.
Mount now with essentially 3 possessions on this one to get this score. You absolutely have to have a score here if you're Mount. At least you get an opportunity from the free throw line. It's Friga, a 71% free throw shooter. That might be about as hard as the timeout comes at 4:09 that I've seen a team, and you'll see it right here, him draw the foul against Jay Battle. But as hard as a team has worked to not get any points just to keep their possession alive.
Yeah, that was just sheer effort. That's what you had to love about it. And it wasn't just effort from Mount Union. Baldwin Wallace was fighting tooth and nail for every loose ball as well. But Mount Union was the beneficiaries of a couple loose balls there. I like how in that third chance there, they did a great job of getting good floor spacing, took their time. Then they got a great one-on-one move as we saw, and almost got the and one, but at least more importantly for Mount Union, they get to the foul line where they can get some of that momentum back on their side. They've done a great job of really weathering the storm where Baldwin Wallace has played so well and only has a 5-point lead to show for it.
They get a shot at the in-house DJ trying to pump up the crowd. He asked them whose house it was before the game, and they hugely responded. They have 2 whole sections and nearly part of a third loudly that it was their house. Yeah. Trying to get them to jump around. That's a scary proposition.
It sure is, but again, they're having fun here at the arena. But here you see that big-time move, and again, that was off a second shot opportunity there for Baldwin Wallace. There you saw that great outlet pass and transition to Battle, and there you see Battle spot up for the 3 ball. He's really had his way here this first half as he's poured in 17 points in under 16 minutes.
He's having what could be a career night. His career high on 3 different occasions is 31. Did it against Wilmington earlier on in the year. Mount Union at 22-5. Baldwin Wallace on the year at 19-8. Both would love to play in the tournament. The selection show is at 1 o'clock on Monday. You would imagine the John Carroll women are going to be pretty happy with their draw after winning. Friga, the exercise science major, knocks down the free throw.
71% free throw shooter on the season.
And we almost jinxed him on the second one. So a 3-point game now with 4 minutes to go in the first half. It hasn't been. It's ebbed and flowed backwards. Kind of an oddity. Both teams right now 11 of 24 from the field. The big difference has been is the steal. Here comes Devontae Friga with the layup. I think everybody was anticipating what he was going to do.
Well, big time play from Friga. That's one of the things we talked about pregame. You know, points from the defense is always going to be paramount, and they have not had many tonight, but there's a big bucket right there for 2.
He's got 16 right now as Colombo works from the low block, tries to get rid of the second defender. Back out into the hands of Kyle Nader. Nader tried to flip it forward, and the pass didn't go where he wanted. 2 Purple Raiders standing in front of him kind of helped that.
Once again, chance to score from your defense on back-to-back possessions.
Friga for the lead. That shot too strong, and you got to feel he's feeling it. Every time down the court, he comes in with 16 of his team's 29. As Colombo backs down. Right now, no Jay Battle on the court for B-Dub. Michael Quiring for three. That may be a slightly ill-advised shot early in the possession.
Well, that's a good 6 feet beyond the line, especially as you mentioned, Mike, early in the shot clock. You probably can get that look anytime you want.
Wiring might be coming back out because Battle now got up immediately after that shot was missed. Raiders now more patient than they had been. Shot clock down to 7. Up and into the post, turn around. That wasn't the look they were trying to get, but maybe draw the foul. And all the way to the other end. Up for 2 and no foul is Schaefer, the Medina County Player of the Year. 1,100 career points for him at Medina High School.
Wow, big time play by Luke Schaefer. He recognized nobody was stopping the basketball, so he took that coast to coast. Just a huge no-no for Mount Union, but what a great finish by Schaefer, and he's had a solid first half.
And he had Jalo Nyamke right there with the basketball. He had him turn the wrong way. Now he'll turn and throw off the glass, and no good. His last 3 games against Baldwin Wallace, 17, 15, and 15, dating back to last year's tournament loss.
Yeah,
Wallace now with the ball. And right up and underneath, the defender ran by Francis Connie. And lead back to 5.
Yeah, great find there by Michael Quiring. That time he's outside the three-point land, but he saw the open teammate inside. Threw a dime inside. That's a big, big bucket, something they needed.
34-29 now in favor of the Jackets. Make it 34-31. Just the quick first 2.
Yeah, Mount Union caught a break that time. The shot ended up being an air ball. It ended up falling right into the right hands at the right place, but they'll take it.
Final minute here in the first. Comes with a highlight. How do you like him now? Kyle Nader at 6'3", the transfer from Malone University with a slam.
Wow, Nader throws it down big time. First quick step. Nobody there to pick him up.
36-31. Would have looked good in the dunk contest last weekend. And Tom Heil is now happy. The 2014 Men's Golf Coach of the Year in the OAC. He's a multifaceted individual, and he's got his team playing well defensively. They just got caught a step slow on that last possession.
Yeah, they did, but you just can't give Tom Heil enough credit. You know, I had the privilege of working at Defiance College. I was on the baseball staff. He was the head basketball coach there, and just loved to see his teams compete and practice, watch him play. And, you know, he plays with a lot of energy, or coaches with a lot of energy, I say, but it rubs off on his players. And, you know, that's why their team is always so fun to watch, and that's why his teams always get better and better as the season winds on. And that's why they've proved to be a tough out in this OAC tournament, as they've already knocked off, you know, 2 seeds ahead of them, and as you mentioned, #1 seed Capital.
1 for 2 from the line. Heil at 90 and 48. He's 68 and 41 at B-Dub. Went 22 and 7 in his 1 year at Defiance, who the high school just built a beautiful new gym. Go in there and play a game. It's almost like this. Rivals most small colleges. Down to 27 seconds. Now the shot and the clock differential about 9 for B-Dub as they work up into the air. Great move. And a little hesitation. The two-handed shot off the glass for Tyler Colombo makes it a 6-point lead going into the half, except there's that man again, Colin Gurley. The long throw at the halftime buzzer off the front of the rim. That is a heck of an answer. Gurley gets it to go. It's 38-35 at the half. We're in for a good one.
Oh, what a tremendous first half. You know, both teams, you have to love the effort, the intensity that they put out there on the entire 20 minutes. And what a finish there as Gurley throws in one from deep. And that's a big 3-ball to make this a 1-possession game at the break.
You think about it, though. Imagine if that last shot had went down. Here you see the trophy that they're playing for in our highlight package. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we'll talk to the OAC's commissioner in Tim Gleason here on NKT.TV Sports.
A member of NCAA Division III, the OAC features outstanding educational programs in a small class setting, while offering competitive athletic opportunities in 23 sports. 10 private colleges and universities form the OAC, the nation's premier small athletic conference. the Ohio Athletic
No interview
Conference,
to do, they
where our
have no
proud
internet
history
connection
meets
right
the
now.
promise of tomorrow.
Stay put.
Scorers table just said stay connected. The scorers table just flashed up
Tonight,
Which is
but yeah, it was great job supporting it, and they've really answered by being into the game. You know, every second of that first half, we're going to see more or less the same here in the second half.
We didn't appear to be on the free pizza list. Working inside off the glass is Jalo Niamke.
It's a great start getting points in the paint. You know, that's always a huge stat. You know, that first half points in the paint were even at 18. I think whichever team can maybe get that advantage the second half is certainly going to have greater chance for success.
This is Tyler Colombo with the basketball, up and under, left hand, switch to the right in a hit to the head from Tommy Stenger that will draw the boos. But he did something right before this, and you see the back of the hand to the face. I've never seen a kid do, while he's palming the basketball with the right hand, he was pulling his shorts down, trying to get to the basket.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a great battle inside. You know, both these teams have been very physical. I really thought Baldwin Wallace played, you know, so physical that first half. That really allowed them to do so many things. It opened up their perimeter game as well. But that time you saw a big-time move inside by Colombo as he did a nice job not trying to force things. He had the one-on-one. He waited for the right time. He was able to draw the contact.
Tommy Stenger with the rebound out of North Canton Hoover High School. Now Stenger with the basketball up top in the first minute. Just a couple of points already on the board. You see 39-37 on the score. Jalo trying to go to work. Down underneath, little baby running hook shot. Why not? Ties the game at 39.
And once again, they go right back to Niamke. I like what they're doing. You know, great recognition there, Coach Mike Fewline. That's certainly a halftime adjustment they made. They've gone to him twice, both times resulting in buckets inside.
Quick little behind the back from Quiring, and inside goes two for Kyle Nader. What I was going to say about Jalo Niamke is maybe they got the memo of what we talked about in the early part. He hadn't really gotten going. He's had big games in this series already. Now he's trying to show it coming out of the break.
Well, that's a great matchup with him and Colombo inside. I mean, these guys are really duking it out, and I think he was challenged by Coach Fewline at halftime to step up his aggressiveness and physicality, and he's done an excellent job. He's got the Purple Raiders out of the gates here, and you know, they're really where they want to be. As well as Baldwin Wallace played, they've kind of weathered the storm. Baldwin Wallace has been a very strong first half team all season, where they've outscored opponents an average 39-32, where they've given up nearly 40 points a game in the second half, Baldwin Wallace. So I think the fact that they're one possession away, I think they have to feel good about that. And I also believe they have to feel they can believe they can start knocking down some three balls, something they really struggled with in that opening half.
Well, and beat-up kind of bucked their trend on Thursday night when they outscored Capital 56-34 to get that win. Is out of control with the offensive foul against Colombo. Half the people in the gym believe it's the right call. You can make this judgment for yourself on the replay. I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, he didn't travel before that.
It's a really tough call, but I think he got it right. You know, that time you saw Colombo really initiate that lot of that contact, and you have to allow the defensive player to be in a defensive stance, even though he's moving. I think that was a solid call.
Colombo let the offensive players go behind him. Hand down, man down, let Don Malone. 41% three-point shooter, his first points of the game, and it's 42-41.
Yeah, that's big. You have to recognize, you have to hedge out on that, and if you slide underneath, that's inviting him to shoot the three ball, and he comes in as their top three-point shooter.
There's a steal for Niamke all the way to the glass. the two-hand, underhand shovel off the glass for two. He's heating up. He's got 8, and it's 44-41. Mount Union.
Now, points off your defense, that's huge. This time they're going to get a bump up top there as they try to set the high ball screen. But you have to like Niamke right there on that breakaway. He loses the handle right about here, but he has the presence to gather it and gets the bucket in.
He just kind of hope and prayed on that one. Just threw it up off the glass. Now he's on the defensive end. I was watching Jay Battle took the basketball after that last out of bounds, went to the sideline to try to wipe his shoes off. The problem is the Mount Union student section were right behind him. To the basket, speaking of right behind, Devontae Friga for 2 and a 5-point run. It now makes it a 46-41 game and a timeout looming.
Well, what a start here in the opening 3.5 minutes here for the Purple Raiders. Here you see the nice dish from Bauer Malone. And again, just way too easy. I love how right now Mount Union is getting their points in the paint. That's the message that was sent at halftime. They've clearly had a focus to get inside. And, that's going to do wonders for your confidence. When you start getting easy buckets like that, it makes you a much more confident shooter from the perimeter. So now when Baldwin Wallace tries to make those adjustments, collapse inside, don't be surprised to see Mount Union open things up from the three-point line.
I'm not sure how much of it you can hear on this feed right now, but it is loud in this building. When things happen, there are times where I can no longer hear Scoop, and he's sitting half a foot next to me.
Yeah, you have to just love that, And again, this is what college athletics ought to be about. You have to love how the community of Alliance has come out here tonight in support of these guys. But Baldwin Wallace has a pretty good following here tonight as well. So both teams out in full force. This has been a back-and-forth game as we expected. But credit to Raiders. They've really come out on fire this opening 3+ minutes of the second half.
Well, I believe the football team had another ho-hum year, right?
Unbelievable what those guys have done, too. A lot of times you make that drive to Alliance, you're going right out to that football field to watch the Purple Raiders, the dominance they've had over the last several decades. But right now it's all about hoops, and this basketball team is certainly worth your while as they have some athletes on the floor, and they play with a lot of energy, and they play together so well.
Kind of goes back to, I think people don't realize just how good D3 and the OAC really is. The amount of athletes that have come through this conference and the amount of kids on the floor right now. As behind the back, Colombo tries to detect some place to go. Battle now. He'll take it to the rack, off balance, and had a block. Again, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, great job protecting the paint once again by the Purple Raiders. They've come out, established the paint at the offensive end. They've done a great job of protecting it at the defensive end.
Malone, the first team All-OAC pick, takes the jumper. Splash. This is a monster run now at 48-41 for the second-seeded Purple Raiders.
Well, that's a welcome sign to see Nathan Bauer Malone get heated up. He comes in as their leading scorer at 13 a game. And what an answer once again by Jay Battle. He just kind of willed his team into this thing. That first half, he carried them. Right now, he's got his work cut out.
He's now got 20. And up off the glass, Bauer Malone playing a two-man game between he on one side and Jay Battle on the other. 50-44 now. He's got just 7 right now. He averages 13 a game.
Yeah, to have him score us at halftime and only be down 3 points, that was key, I thought, for Mount Union. But he is woken up, and he's playing with some passion and energy out there.
Colombo almost had that shot blocked into the net. As Tommy Stenger closed late, as did Niamke. You can see it right here. That's clearly a foul. Just the swing at the end as well. And now this is big for Colombo if he can make this free throw to cut it to 3.
Well, that's a huge possession by Baldwin Wallace. We mentioned how Mount Union has really gone to the paint here the second half to dominate things inside. That time, Baldwin Wallace had the presence to see the big man inside, got it to 1-on-1, and he does a great job of using his physicality to get to the rim, and he's a tough guard. And at that time, the help came too late and resulted in a foul. Now we'll see the chance for the conventional three-point play.
He gave the foul to Tommy Stenger. That is his third as he heads to Coach Fuline's bench. Coach Fuline, the 2010 Division I state championship at Massillon-Jackson. As a coach of the year in 04 when he coached at Rootstown High School. This guy's been all over, but he's had success everywhere as the free throw good to make it the three-point game.
Yeah, he's another guy just loves to compete. You know, he had some great teams there at Massillon Jackson, as you mentioned, and he's carried it on to the collegiate level.
All the way to the basket. Speaking of getting there, is Bianche again out of Nordonia High School in Sagamore Hills. He's going to write home and tell him right now he's got 10. He averages 8.6. Battle for three. Splish splash.
Unbelievable shot by Battle. Looked like he was going to step on the sideline when he squared up, but that ball was deep, nothing but net, and a huge answer. But Mount Union continues to get deep in the lane.
Bianche again, lefty off the glass is good.
Now look for Coach Tom Heil to maybe insert a bigger lineup, a more physical lineup, because right now Mount Union is smelling blood in the water, and they're going right to the rack each and every time. And Baldwin Wallace has had no answer. Fortunately for them, they've been able to knock down some shots, and there's a great backdoor feed.
All the way on the give back. The basket to Drew Sova from Luke Schaefer. Schaefer could have taken that himself. He gave it right back to Sova. He said, you go ahead and get this one.
Well, what a possession here by Baldwin Wallace. All five guys received the basketball at some point in that possession. Here you see Sova, great job. Head and shoulders fake, used his body well to protect the basketball. He's able to get the hoop and the harm, and a big answer. And once again, a big free throw here. But Sova only a 53% free throw shooter. But you know that
leading rebounder too.
Yeah, but that was a big stat. We talked about one of the keys, getting to the foul line for Baldwin Wallace. They got to the line in that opening minute of the first half, but they only got there once again the last 19 minutes of the opening half. And, you know, they have to get there more than 4 times through the second half if they want to have some success here at Mount Union.
So out of Chagrin Falls and Kenston High School hits the free throw. Says, I'll take your 52%. I'll put 53 on the board. So 1-point game again, the advantage for the Purple Raiders. The last 3 possessions for Mount Union has been met by the chant as the foul on the way up. Looking for the lob to Dunk City was John Carroll. But the chant has been, you can't guard us. And quickly, the answer was yes, because Battle got Carroll on the right elbow.
Well, great recognition by Bauer Malone. That time they hedged out on the screen. And that time, instead of going to rack, he went east and west. And what that did, it drew the defender away from the hoop. And then he had the presence to make the great assist inside. And all Wallace could do was foul.
John Carroll's a 69% free throw shooter, 3 points, 3 rebounds a game. He's 6'11". He was a member of the National Honor Society, a couple of district titles at Massillon Tussla. He's a civil engineering major. Just imagine, you look across the table and you see an engineer, and he's almost 7 feet tall.
Yeah, he's a big boy, corn-fed. But again, nice to see him get the ball inside. But Baldwin Wallace, rather see him try to hit it from the line, as we saw there, than to slam two from home, and pays off that time.
Final 13 minutes of the regulation part of the OAC Men's Championship game. Somebody just screamed in the truck at that word, I guarantee it. Wiring off the dribble. He's got a quick move, trying to get rid of a defender and Gurley in front of him. Step back for 3 in the lead. Offline, the rebound. Great box out. How about that? You don't get to say that a lot. No,
it was a great solid possession, too, especially Gurley 1-on-1 stopping the dribble penetration.
Ball knocked away. Baldwin Wallace with the steal. Now that was pressure from Drew Sova using the long arms at 6'8". Sova now will set the screen for Quiring. Lefty off the glass, and the score back the opposite way.
Tough shot by Quiring. That time they forced him left. And he had to hang up there a long time, got it off the glass, got the shooter's touch. Big bucket, and they're back on top.
Baldwin Wallace starters on the bench right now as the charge taken by Quiring, the Brunswick Blue Devil.
What a heady play by Quiring. You'll see it right here. He mans up, and then he takes one for the team. That's a solid call, but just a heck of a defensive play by Quiring. Those are those things that really don't show up in stat books, but that's a big-time play. And you can see why he's been one of the catalysts for this team all season long.
What I was going to talk about, they got a good shot of it a second ago. The bench for Baldwin Wallace, the starters are all over there. And Battle, when he's not in, is a history major, by the way, and he knows about what it takes to win these kind of games. He went over to Tyler Colombo, who just checked in, and pretty much finger in his chest just told him, you're the man. When you go back in, you're that guy, that kind of motion. And Colombo can be that guy, and if he's on, it's a scary proposition for Mount.
That's exactly right. And what a leader Jay Battle is out there. He's the biggest cheerleader when he's on the bench, and he plays with energy on the floor. In fact, the first half when he was checking in one time, he couldn't stay seated in front of the scorers because he was up and going, pacing down and forth like a coach. But that's just how much he's into it. That's how bad he wants this thing, as do a lot of other people on both sides of the ball here tonight, as we can see.
And these teams have met so many times, the 13 in the tournament, 10 of those have been met as wins for Baldwin Wallace. Trying not to lose the ball and getting away with a little bit of a shove on his way to the basket is Demetrius.
Nice job there by Demetrius. Very physical once again, but he held his composure, got inside.
And a foul on the other side, but you look at what Matthew did, the 5'11 sophomore, normally more of a stand-up shooter. He's got a couple of games this year against Bethany out of New York and Rhodes. Rhodes in the high school he hit 6 threes in a quarter, but he's got 6 threes in a game this year. He was just able to see that he could get to the basket.
Yeah, he's a great shooter, 86% foul shooter, 46% three-point shooter. They love to see him spot up.
Right back to Bauer Malone as he was off balance on that jumper. Was able to follow it through as we've gone under a dozen minutes now remaining here. And he eventually draws the foul. It'll be on Drew Sova. That'll be number 1 for Drew. Team fouls at 5 apiece.
Tell you what, this has been a tough game to officiate, but this crew has done an excellent job. You can call contact on everything, but again, these guys done a great job. They've kept it in check, but both these teams are really leaving it all out there. Every possession has been at a premium since the opening tip.
Colin Gurley back in, the sport management major, all OAC pick, honorable mention, and the freshman of the year. Throws it in. Bauer Malone, the first team all OAC pick, finishes it off. His 9th point. His team a point away from a tie game.
Wow, just another big-time move here by Bauer Malone. This time you see he's got the one-on-one. The help gets there late, and when it gets him on the arm, he'll have a chance here for his 10th point of the game, but also the 10th point of this second half. Hard to believe this young man was held scoreless the open 20 minutes, but he's come back with vengeance here in the second half. He's given his team a chance to get back to this. They're just trailing 1 right now, but what a tremendous half he's had.
Unfortunately, you got to make your free throws. And that 3 from downtown Berea is where that one was shot for acquiring. What a one-on-one action for Colombo. He wanted to go back outside. Mount crowd thinks he might have walked. Trying to back down on the hip. Wow, Colombo feeds underneath and thrown away. I don't know that Sova saw that or knew that was coming, because watch how hard this ball's thrown.
Just a little bit too fast to handle, but great presence there by Colombo. He saw him open on that backside, but with the pressure he was feeling, the double team, he got rid of it. Just a little bit too much mustard on it. Can't quite corral it, and that's a tough break. It looked like Baldwin Wallace going to be able to extend that lead to 3 points.
Bring back in Luke Schaefer. When he was a senior at Medina High School for Baldwin Wallace, he had 6 different times in just his senior year where he had 10 points or more in a quarter.
Now
He's a scorer.
That's just incredible. I think he comes in average actually over 20 points per 40 minutes, so certainly no surprise. He's capable to light up that scoreboard at any time. There's just so many athletes out here, it's almost like pick your poison.
I think that's the whole tournament. That's how it's pretty much gone, as they throw over into the corner just in front of the Mount bench. A little stutter step on that loss for, that would be Tanner Slack back in. The exercise science major playing in his 28th game. Battle back in for Baldwin Wallace, down to 9:53. And a late foul call, an offensive foul.
Well, that's a tough break right there. Looked like a big-time move there by Tyler Colombo. And I think the Purple Raiders catch a break.
There's a little bit of a conversation, too, between Niamke as he's clapping right in front of a couple of different Baldwin Wallace players, and he was having words with Demetrius. It's that kind of game. Everybody wants this title.
Yeah, like I said, they're playing with a lot of energy. You know, you really don't need that. You just need to go out there and keep playing like you've been doing. I think that's what both coaches want to see. Their guys just play up to their potential.
Everybody touched it. 3 ball. Skies into the basket for Zach Sabula out of Brunswick High School. His dad, Chris, was an All-American at Baldwin Wallace, and he said, "Dad, look what I can do." Now a 4-point lead for B-Dub.
Yeah, great knockdown shot there by Sabula, but I love how Tyler Colombo, after being frustrated possession before, spot up right there. You see the great extra pass right there to his teammate, and that's a big possession and a big answer. And Baldwin Wallace gets back up to a 4-point lead, something they have not seen since the first half.
That ball had a lot of hang time on it, too. You see the cheerleaders, they realize the camera's there. Hi, Mom. That's pretty much probably how that went. Gotta imagine her mom's probably in that big sea of Baldwin Wallace fans throughout this building.
Yeah, there's some Baldwin Wallace fans. I'm sure they don't want their moms to see them right now in that center section with their shirts off, yelling some obscenities and so forth. But you know, what an atmosphere here. Just a great crowd on hand.
Luckily for them, we highlighted the Mount kids.
And you kind of mentioned it, Mike, you know, how people don't realize how tough this OAC is. You know, this conference is actually it's the 3rd oldest conference in the nation, just behind the MIAA and also the Big Ten, you know. So they've had a long tradition. But this year, the OAC is 44-23 outside of the league. It speaks volumes, you know, to come in 66% win clip in your non-league games. In fact, both these teams here tonight, just 1 loss outside of conference on the season. So really speaks volumes about the quality of the league and the fact that, you know, you have Baldwin Wallace, who is the 6th seed in this conference, you know. So just, again, just a tremendous conference from top to bottom.
I don't know what I think that this conversation as the stop for Niamke might have just been, hey, you guys maybe need to calm down a little bit, because he got both guys. He got Dimitrievs as well on the other side for Baldwin Wallace. Final 9:19 up on the board at a 4-point game. Raiders have won 17 straight in this building. As the big part of that has been the guys handling the basketball to the layup. Niamke got caught, realized I could maybe go flash. He's got 14 points now, but it was just the effective stick it off the glass for 2.
Yeah, great persistence there in that possession. A great answer after a great timeout. You know, I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, these teams have played so well, it kind of got chirpy there, and just, I think, refocus. And what an answer once again by Jay Battle. 3-ball corner pocket, and he just seems to have that in fuego type attitude tonight, where everything he's throwing up is going in.
He's 5 away from his career high. The Gahanna Lincoln product. And
oh, that's huge. That's number 4 on Jay Battle.
And Battle's trying to get any one of his teammates to take credit for that foul right now, I think.
Yeah, that's a tough break.
I think Tom Howell got a warning because he was almost to half court.
Yeah, he was out of the coaching box. Official pointed out, got him back in. That's a tough break when you have your leader, who has 26 points, has to go to the bench here, and it's just a 2-possession game. A chance to make it a 1-possession game here, as Niamke will shoot 2 from the line.
You gotta like
or make that 1-1.
You gotta like what Battle did though when he went by. He pointed to his head the entire way down the line. Hey guys, be smart. I wasn't on that play, and look where we are.
Yeah, he's not a guy to make excuses and point the finger. He knows that you know, this game's going to be won in the closing minutes here. You know, he's done his part, but he also knows there's a lot of basketball to be had. You can't let one play affect the next, so you have to really flush the last play and work on the next play. And that's what that leader has done.
1 out of 2 for Niamke, but for the 4th straight game now against Baldwin Wallace, dating back to last year, he's now hit 15 or more. He's just a terrific player in this series for the Purple Raiders. As he spin the up and under, even on the duck, Kyle Nader not able to get it to go, but the offensive rebound. And it's similar to near the end of the first half where we saw Mount be able to do the same thing. They got 3 offensive rebounds, kept the possession alive. Now they didn't score on theirs, but it was kind of that momentum right now as you're breaking down with 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, and again, it's the effort you're going to feed off of, and yeah, you're not going to be able to score off of every putback, off of every second chance opportunity, but the fact that you're getting them, you're making those hustle plays, you're getting to some of those 50-50 balls, that sometimes can propel your team.
One other thing, though, for Baldwin Wallace right now that kind of sticks out to me is the ball goes back the other way is Jack Lostowski is not really playing. We saw him a couple of weeks ago in Berea, and he had a huge game, but hasn't been able to get in there and do anything. Is now just abusing the defense is Niamke.
Yeah, once again, Niamke just feeling it. He gets a one-on-one matchup, and that time he was pretty well defended one-on-one, but you have to have help when he's that deep. He's too big a load.
To the tune of you can't guard him. Well, right now I'd say they're correct. Baldwin Wallace for 3 to stop the run. Offline, but a foul is going to be underneath. That was just a lot of, I think you probably could have gone either way on that. A lot of guys trying to kind of hook the other.
That's going to be the 4th foul on Tyler Colombo. Colombo went to the foul line thinking he was recipient of the foul, but finds out the foul's on him. So, but again, you know, some of those 50-50 calls are going to go either way. You can't let that affect the next play. But right now, some serious foul trouble for Baldwin Wallace as they have their 2 key cogs with 4 fouls apiece.
Franciscani at the line, a 68% free throw shooter. Smooth on the first. If we had the microphone behind there, you wouldn't even be able to hear anything except for swish. A 1-point game now.
And again, foul shots are obviously huge, but I think this is the guy that you're certainly going to want there. He's got ice in his veins, such a cerebral player, and there's 2 big free throws. We're all not at 63 with 7 and some change remaining.
You kind of look at this game right now, though, Scoop, and you kind of think, all right, each team has a couple of timeouts left. It's going to break down into maybe segments of this game. Maybe a minute and a half, maybe 2-minute segments of, all right, we have to be smart. And if you're Baldwin Wallace, you see this foul and opportunity to go ahead at the line, but when does Jay Battle come back?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you definitely want to get the mileage out of him. You don't want to go home wondering if I'd have brought him back sooner would it have made a difference. So I think you want to get the mileage out of him. You know, I'm thinking about the he'll hold him out as long as he can, but I think certainly by the 5-minute mark you want him back on the floor.
Free throw off the front of the rim for Drew Sova.
Yeah, that's a tough break. You had a great entry pass from Kyle Nader. They set up a stagger screen for Nader. He took the drive in.
Can't hit either. Under 7 minutes now here in the OAC championship game with a trip to the big dance on the line. And again, all the way to the basket. Drawing the foul is Valor Malone. Now, that might be a bigger thing because if you watch this, if he does not turn back towards the defender, I don't know he's not able to just get this layup, but a smart play on his part to make it the 3rd foul on acquiring.
Yeah, he did a great job. I think that's what actually sold that foul. I thought it was actually, even though they were getting beat off the drive, did a great job of trying to time it, trying to disrupt the shot, but he did a great job sort of turning into it. And that's a break, and this is where Mount Union's had advantage this second half is at the foul line. And right here, you're going to see Battle check back in. I think this is a great move. I think you have to get the mileage out of him. This game could be won in the next couple minutes. You just want to try to weather that storm. They gave him a breather there.
Be curious to see the next guy that handles the basketball for Mount Union if they don't go right at him.
Yeah, and that's true. They're certainly going to try to do that. You know, Battle being a senior, he's a smart player. Yeah, he knows what he has his work cut out, the defensive end especially, where I'm sure he's going to get tested, as you mentioned.
And you know, it was described to me during the Baldwin Wallace game we had a couple of weeks ago at their place that he's a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve, wears his emotions, and we've seen him as a leader throughout the course of this game. But maybe you get that. Maybe you get to where Baldwin Wallace comes chasing. They're having to make a play to try to get back, and then he picks up that 5th foul. Obviously, you want that if you're wearing purple. The other way around, maybe during this timeout, all right, everybody, let's just stay chill.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think what they'll probably do is they'll try to match up Battle on somebody that's really not going to be as aggressive, taking the ball to the rack. But there you see Battle spot up from 3-point line. You saw that big shot there in the first half. And then you see another nice drive we saw in the opening half. And, you know, his 17 points that first half were huge. But he came out that second half on fire as well. And he had 26 points when he checked out with that 4th foul just a few minutes ago.
Got a couple of guys who are near career highs. He would be one in Battle. His career high 3 different times is 31. But how about Niamke? We spotlighted him in the Keys, and one more basket, and he'll have his career high, which is 18 right now against Transylvania in Kentucky in Game 1. That was important for him to get going. His team loses that game 74-66, but he plays 24 minutes, 8 of 11 from the field, and shoots 2 of 2 from the line. He's playing that type of game right now.
Yeah, that's been huge. They've needed every bit. You know, we've had so many great efforts. We saw Devontae Friga go off for 16 points in that first half as well. You know, there's so many guys stepping up, and that's going to be a tough break there. That's going to put Baldwin Wallace in a 1-on-1. That's one of those fouls, you know, 35 feet from the basket you really don't want to make, especially when the guy's not really going north and south. But
Battle now at the line looking for point 27, and he found it.
Well, Battle comes in 77% from the line on the year, and certainly he's been zoned in all night. And they're going to substitute Battle out, so Coach Tom Heil going to go a little offense, defense. Now they got defensive possession. He still has all 5 timeouts too, so he can always call a timeout and get his senior back in the game. But right now, I think he's going to try to protect him, try to buy some more time, not have to worry about picking up that 5th foul.
So tied at 65, the way you'd expect the championship game to go. Quick little handoff and almost the walk for Friga. Friga with a feed down low, 244s. Big guys working hard, and I think Friga's a little bit lucky that he didn't get called for his 2nd foul.
Yeah, and a big-time rebound on the backside by Kyle Nader. He went up in traffic, pulled that down, played strong. That's huge, keeping the Purple Raiders to 1 and done. You know, they have not had many stops through this second half.
And a lot of contact being allowed in this latter part of this game.
Yeah, that's been a tough game to officiate. You see a lot of contact being initiated by Quiring, but again, he was recipient of a lot of contact as well, but it's going to end up being a no call. And here you're going to see Battle check back in for the offensive possession with things knotted up here with just under 6 minutes remaining.
Watch maybe with the 2 guys up front if they don't go some sort of double screen to get him a look at 3. He just has that kind of heat where he hit that shot before he went out, the 2 free throws before he went out. When he feels it, he becomes a completely different player. It's like the old NBA Jam game. He's perpetually 1 shot away from being on fire.
Yeah, exactly right. It's that mindset that he carries to the table. You know, he's just been so focused. Even when he's not in the game, you know, he's kind of been that. He's been that guy. He's been the glue to the team. You know, some guys can only get it done when they're on the floor. This guy gets it done on and off the floor, and he's really, you know, he makes those guys around him better. That's what you have to love. And the fact that he's oozing with talent on top of that just makes it all that much more fun to watch him play.
He's in the top 20 scorers all time in Baldwin Wallace history as well. I believe the last couple of weeks he's worked his way up around 15th place. And he really does do it all.
Exactly. You have to love that. I remember my dad was a high school coach, and he always told me, hey, when you get a towel, you get on your knees, you wipe that stuff up. You never have the official do the dirty work. You do the little things, and again, that just speaks volume the type of young man he is. So he's out there competing.
The Capital fans, they were kind of indifferent. Final 6 minutes as he throw out right to Battle for 3 in the lead.
Unbelievable. Not only did he have his back to the basket when he caught that ball at three-point line, he turned and shot a jumper from deep and buries it once again, and he now has 31 points, equals his career high.
He is a man on fire right now. Is nearly a steal back the opposite way, but Battle out of Gahanna Lincoln High School doing some work. Last time he did it, just about 2 weeks ago to the day against Capital. Now on the throw out, a goaltend. They called a foul or a goaltend?
Called a goaltend. Tremendous pass by Battle. What presence. He came up with the ball. He saw a teammate hustling up the floor. He rewarded the hustle. And here you'll see this is a bang-bang play, but they're going to call goaltending. And that's a big bucket. That's the biggest lead for Baldwin Wallace here in the second half.
So it was Kyle Nader with the basket. Third-team Western Shore Conference, where he was the player of the year a couple of times. Able to get that basket, but I'm more marveling at the fact that Tommy Stenger at 6'3", challenging that ball, running from an angle that he was even able to get his hand up to that point.
Well, you've mentioned it all night long, Mike, that the athletes that are here in this OAC, across the board, but certainly here tonight, here with these two teams duking it out, but not many people realize, how good these guys are. You've mentioned how many guys have been all-district, all-state, player of the year in this county and that, and what they also have, they have that X factor where these guys compete, they want to win, they're willing to outwork you, they're willing to do the little things, and that's the reason we've been in for such a great battle here tonight.
Literally. Battle with a heck of a game, and here's the other guy for 2 in the foul. Niamke again. He is just torturing this team. That's his career high with 19.
Yeah, what an answer by Niamke once again. And you just cannot let him get that deep in the lane. The 6'5" senior is so strong. He's so athletic. There you see him use the left hand. But you have to get the double team there quicker. That time he was able to get the one-on-one he wanted. He used his strength to better his position. And then you saw what he did from there. That's a big, big bucket after they fell behind 5.
It is a big miss, though, from the line to keep it a 3-point game. Battle with the basketball as he works around Colombo's screen. Off the left wing, trying to get rid of his defender, and Franciscani. Pitch and catch as he was just kind of, look at the work down low. Colombo able to start and stop. Back out top on the run to the basket. And lost. Kyle Nader had a good look at it.
We're going to have a timeout, alert play there on the loose ball before he got tied up. That's a great play by Friga. He signaled timeout.
Timeouts are about to become a premium too, because they continue to come off the board on the left side. The home team trailing 70-67. Both teams are in the bonus the rest of the way, and at times they've both been phenomenal free throw shooting teams, but throughout the course of the year, it's kind of ebbed and flowed as the games have gone on. Some nights they've had terrific shots late. Some nights they just won't fall. Yeah,
and you're right. You can't take these timeouts with you to the NCAA tournament. They don't carry over. So I think I'm going to see each coach probably use their full share. But again, it's going to be boiled down to those little things. Baldwin Wallace on the season is only shot 66% from the line, but we've seen how they're capable. Some of their best players are shooting in the high 70%. And then for Mount Union, they're a 72% shooting team as a team from a stripe. So certainly they have a little bit of advantage there. But again, that's one of those keys we talked about before the game. When Baldwin Wallace has had success, they've been able to outscore teams from the foul line.
Mount right now 10-15. Baldwin Wallace at 8 of 12. Each team is almost identical. Mount Union is 26 of 47 from the field. Baldwin Wallace is 26 of 48. Big difference, though. Baldwin Wallace has hit 10 of 18 from outside, while Mount has struggled at 3 of 13.
Yeah, certainly right now that's been the difference. But we're seeing right here, we're going to see this the rest of the night. They cannot put Colombo on him with 4 fouls, but that time a rare miss.
So Niamke not able to get it to fall, and Baldwin Wallace will call a timeout. I imagine this one is probably to make sure you get Battle back in.
There we go. They're going to get Battle and Colombo right back in. That's a great move by Coach Tom Heil. And again, we mentioned the fact he had all 5 timeouts left to that one, but you can bank he's probably not going to take any of them home with him tonight.
It's not really a shock for anybody who knows Tom Heil. A heck of a basketball player in his own right. He's gone back and forth to Defiance a couple of times. As you get a look at, there's that 3 you were talking about, Battle, ice in his veins. But at what point right now, as a coach, do you sort of look at this game and wait for kind of that, when you go on that final run with these 2 guys of, all right, at some point we have to leave them in. We can't continue to burn timeouts we might need later.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing what they can right now, but there comes that juncture, the point of no return, where you just have to leave them on the floor. But right now, the fact they have timeouts, they can use that offense-defense strategy. And don't forget that 70-point barrier. When the Raiders have scored 70 points this season, they're 21-0. When they've been held under 70, they're just 1-5.
That is a heck of a number to build your season on. Colombo thought about the 3. Now he'll drive in. Looks back door, had it knocked away. That makes it hard to throw through 6 hands to get to your guy.
Oh, great play there by Tommy Stenger. Looked like he was going to get an easy assist there, but Stenger was able to get a hand on it, got the key deflection. And the Purple Raiders come up with the steal. They can tie it with a 3 ball, but look for them to go back inside once again.
You got to believe down somewhere on a low block is driving and trying to offer it up was Bauer Malone. Very adamant in the back. You see Gurley up off the bench is calling about, hey, was that not a foul? The answer is no.
Tyler Colombo right there for the pick up the rebound.
And Battle was looking for him too as he got rid of the basketball and fell to the floor. On the cross-court throw to Luke Schaefer. He's now got a nice move down to the baseline. Final 3 minutes upcoming. Shot clock is now an issue at 5. Oh, so much for that. Just the big guy on the opposite side of where we talked about him at.
You saw Niamke come in. He changed his shot the last second. What looked like it was going to be an easy deuce for Baldwin Wallace, and that's a huge defensive play by Niamke. And once again, the Purple Raiders just 1 possession down.
27-49 now is Mount Union. 3 ball from way downtown from the A in Raiders, which stands for Downtown Alliance.
Well, there's that 70-point barrier we were talking about. We'll see if it keeps up to fruition here. But again, we got a great finish on hand.
Tommy Stenger shoots 43% from 3. But my question is, what does he shoot from 32 feet? He's 1 of 1 now. Tie game with just outside of 2 minutes to go. And the off-balance 3, trying to draw the contact.
And that's going to be number 5 right there on Colombo. And probably just as importantly, a chance for Mount Union to take a lead. Something they haven't had here in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
And the only problem about fouling out about the where you're at, if you're Colombo, is you've got to try to walk away from the Mount student section, which is nearly right behind your bench.
Yeah, now you just have to be that supporter for your guys. You know, you've left it out there for your team. With that 5th foul, he's disqualified, but certainly, you know, he needs to be that vocal leader on the sideline. But big free throws coming up, and we've seen how successful
Francis County again.
Yeah, Francis County has been. He's been calm that time. Once again, nothing but net.
Academic all OAC pick. National Security and Foreign Intelligence Analysis is his major. 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. There's a lot of contact on both sides. The throw knocked into Battle's hands. 2-on-1 with the trailer to the basket. Reverse layup is good for Luke Schaefer.
Well, what a reverse by Schaefer. Once again, great play by Jay Battle. You know, he's got 31 points. He has a chance to go 1-on-1 but he makes a heads-up play, makes a nice bounce pass to his teammate. Watch how he draws the defender there, and the help gets there just a little bit late from Francisconi, and a nice reverse lay-in. And that's a big bucket that puts the Yellow Jackets back on top.
Credit Schaefer for being able to even get to that point where he saw the defender coming from behind him, too.
Again, just a big-time athletic play. A lot of guys can't make that kind of adjustment when you're running that hard in transition. But the thing he did well, he had a great angle. He got wide on the floor, came down, had a nice angle, allowed him to do the reverse on the left side. And a big answer there for Baldwin Wallace.
Right now, the stats at a 72-71 Baldwin Wallace lead with a minute 55, and the crowd going nuts. Jay Battle, 11 of 16. He's hit 7 out of 8 from 3. He has 4 assists and 31 points. His running buddy in Tyler Colombo just fouled out with 10 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, the thing about Jay Battle, too, it's not just about his offense. You know, he's played just as hard at the defensive end.
You see the rope now being procured in the background. The reason for that, I would imagine, is they're trying to prevent, if Mount wins this game, the court being stormed. I'm not 100% sure that 4 guys holding a thin rope, and no disrespect to them because they're doing a terrific job, is going to stop those hundreds of kids.
Yeah, good luck with that rope holding that crowd back. I mean, they're so into this basketball game. You know, they're tasting it. They want to storm that court. They want to be there for their classmates. But right now they've got the work cut out. The Purple Raiders down 1, but they got the ball in the right hands here.
Trying to create anything is see if they could run the 2-man game right back to him. But the OAC title on the line. Minute 34 to go at a 1-point game, and a chance to play where you'll find out where you play on Monday into the NCAA tournament drawing.
Yeah, great help defense that time by Baldwin Wallace. That time Battle came over, sandwiched him inside, and what that allows is it makes it tough to jump when you got guys bodying up on both sides. It results in a big turnover.
Battle to the basket for a new career high. He'll have to do it from the free throw line as he drew 3 guys in, and he's gonna, you imagine at some point as you see this replay of how he did it, he got Niamke to get him, but I'm not 100% sure that Tommy Stenger didn't pick that up. He did. It's 4, but you think about that going forward as he brings out the broom again. He's just gonna squeegee the floor. That might be something to think about going forward. The last maybe 20 seconds of this game, if you have the ball, if you're Baldwin Wallace, you're going to look at him, draw the attention to him. He kicks out and finds somebody else wide open.
Yeah, that's the thing about Jay Battle. You know, we've talked about his offensive prowess tonight, but the fact that he's not afraid to dish the ball to the open teammate. He's about getting the job done. He's about trying to win the basketball game for his teammates. And if that's what it takes to make the extra pass, so be it. But they're certainly going to want the ball in his hands where he can go one-on-one. And there you see another clutch free throw by Battle.
New career high.
As you're right, new career high, 32 points. He'd love to tack on another one right here.
And he extends it now to 33. Just a tremendous player in Baldwin Wallace lore. A senior, down to a minute, gave his team a 3-point lead.
Right now you got 2 for 1 possession-wise. For the Purple Raiders. They just have to be efficient and score here, and they do. What a move again by Niamke, and a quick timeout by Coach Feuline. We have a 1-point game here with just over 49 seconds remaining.
I call that the flush roll. Because that's pretty much what he got. It hung up there, just sort of circled, and you'll see it here. Watch the move that he makes to even get there. That's off balance with the left hand the wrong way. And it just finally falls in. Yeah,
we've seen that multiple times tonight, but he had just enough English. That ball was almost sitting vertical on top of that rim, and somehow it had the draw to find its way to the bottom of net. But what a big bucket that was. And now it'll be interesting to see what Coach Tom Heil is going to draw up. You know, do you try to come down and take a quick shot and have a 2-for-1 possession on your favor, or do you work the clock down to get, down to around 30 seconds and sort of put the pressure on Mount Union with one last possession. But certainly I think you're going to take the first good shot you got. You're not probably going to rush anything, but I don't think you want to take it down to 3 or 4 seconds and take an ill-advised shot and give Mount Union a chance to take the lead in the final seconds.
If indeed Mount Union does get the final shot to drop, it is going to be pandemonium when this game is over. And I'm telling you again, that student section is not going to be held down by that rope.
Yeah, I'm not sure Steel Ballers over there is going to keep these kids out, But again, this is how it should be. This is tournament basketball at its finest. They're playing for a bid in the NCAA tournament here, and each team doing all they can to help their side. They're leaving it all on the floor. And man, we've been in for a treat here tonight, Mike.
So battle is all the way at half court now as he walks down to the free throw line. Game clock and shot clock offset by about 17 seconds. So an opportunity for Baldwin Wallace. Nope, they'll go early to the basket for 2, and Kyle Nader makes it a 3-point lead.
Well, I love what Coach Tom Howe did. That's exactly what he did. He went for the 2 for 1, and I like how they sort of lured that Mount Union defense to sleep. They walk it up the floor, but then you see the hesitation move, and no doubt about it, Kyle Nader goes strong. They like the one-on-one matchup they had, and that's a huge bucket, because now with just 37.9 remaining, Mount Union, this is a huge possession. You don't have to go for the 3 yet, but you have to get a bucket, and then you're going to have to, with the time where it's at, you're going to have to foul if you can't get a quick turnover.
And also they put one timeout back on the board because there was a conversation when they put 0 up on the board from the Mount coaches. They must have flipped a timeout somewhere, because instead of it being 3 and 0, they just flipped it to 2 and 1 for Baldwin Wallace and Mount respectively. And it's good. That's good for the table to be able to get that right. Yeah,
you're exactly right. That's exactly what happened. They did, must have earlier credit one of Baldwin Wallace's timeouts to Mount Union, but nice to see they got it right in the board. Right now, the Purple Raiders with 1 timeout. The Yellow Jackets have 2.
And they're making sure, even coming out of the timeout, the Baldwin Wallace coaches looked at the officials and put up 2 fingers to make sure that what is on the board, they know the scenario. You have the opportunity right now, if you're Baldwin Wallace, you can do a lot more things than what Mount can.
Right, and that's good officiating, communicating together, making sure everybody's on the same page.
Bauer Malone with the basketball, now down to 31 seconds. Shot and game clock offset by 7. Out to the 3-point line, he wants to work inside. You don't necessarily have to go 3, just a smart possession. The off-balance shot and the rebound nearly ripped away. Baldwin Wallace with the basketball. Credit Michael Quiring for getting to it.
What a defensive play by Kyle Nader. Looked like Mount Union had the one-on-one they wanted, and we're going to get to the rim, but he did a great job of bodying up, being physical, and he forced a tough shot. Right here, the help by Nader. Look at that. He forced the fade away where normally they've been getting to the rim. They've been getting deep in the lane on that. And a big-time rebound in traffic, as you see right there by Quiring. And they get it out. And Mount Union is forced to foul. And Baldwin Wallace uses one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
So now each team with 1. Both teams will be in the double bonus for the final 14 seconds of regulation. 76-73. Keep in mind, just things to think about. Jay Battle is playing right now with 4 fouls. If there is a point where he has to try to initiate something to get through maybe a double team or some sort of handoff scenario to avoid a foul, he can't afford it. He would have to sit, and that takes away your biggest offensive weapon and at times easily your biggest defensive weapon.
Yeah, you're right, and both these coaches know that, so they're certainly going to try to make some adjustments to try to counter those things. But again, right now you got free throws. You got to make sure you put at least one of them in. Obviously, you want to put 2. If you can get this to a 5-point lead, you force the Purple Raiders to almost have to go for that 3 to get it within 2 points, and that way when you foul, you force Baldwin Wallace to have to hit a couple free throws. But right now, it's a 1-possession game. Your job is to make the first free throw, and you go from there.
Free throw shooters on the floor now for Baldwin Wallace. Jay Battle at 77%. Michael Quiring at 61%. Kyle Nader is a 55% guy, so he might be who you want to go. Whatever you do not foul Luke Schaefer 85%.
Yeah, right now that's what the timeout is for. Design it to get the ball inbounds to the guys you want. They certainly have the guys on the floor right now they want it with.
Right,
and no better choice than go to Jay Battle, who's just been money all night.
Career high 33 points. I wouldn't even say he walks his way to the opposing free throw line. He kind of stalked his way there, as if at this point with 13 seconds to go in the OAC title game, he expects he's the guy at the line with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's just great coaching. You know, that whole timeout was designed for. You know, as we mentioned earlier, he's shooting 77% from the line. But, you know, what a night he's had tonight. You know, he's had that killer instinct. But there he misses the first one. And that puts pressure on this second one because right now it's still a one-possession game.
He had a game earlier this year. By the way, he's over 100 career starts. He had a game earlier this year. He had 14 out of 14 from the line. He goes 0 for 2. Mount found the back door open, and Battle just committed foul number 5.
Wow, what a turn of events right now. Mount Union down 3 on life support, and Battle comes up with 2 rare misses and then tried to do a little bit too much. His hustle got the best of him. He dove for the loose ball. They got there just a step late. And once again, you see him out there wiping up the floor. But here you'll see the aggressiveness and the undercuts, and certainly the right call. But more importantly, Mount Union now, with no time being run off the clock, comes down, gets the chance to make this a 1-point ball game. And you have your 2 top cogs basically in this ball game on the bench with 5 fouls apiece in Tyler Colombo and Jay Battle. So right now, if you're Mount Union, you want to find a way just to get this to overtime. You want to get 5 minutes back on that clock and take your chances with those 2 key players on the bench.
Stanger, a 63% free throw shooter. Good on the first. And I love when things work out. You just point out, hey, this might happen. And that's exactly what Battle ended up doing. Well, he fouls out with a career high 33, but you can't hate it. I mean, he fouled on a hustle play. And
yeah, just his nature. You know, he's got one gear, and again, this makes his second free throw so important. You know, you want to get this to a 1-point game, so when you foul Baldwin Wallace, even if they make 2, it's still just a 1-possession game. So, you know, this is a clutch free throw coming up.
Again, Demetrius is the worst free throw shooter of the group that's on the floor right now for Baldwin Wallace. Second free throw away for a 1-point game, and we're there. Each team has a timeout. 12.2 remaining in a 76-75 Baldwin Wallace lead. Quiring will inbound the basketball. Had the highest GPA on his team last year.
They'll look for Schaefer to get the ball if at all possible.
Up into the hands of Zach Sabula. And the extra half, well, it actually comes out to about a second and a half. Comes off the clock before he is fouled.
Well, Sabula, 73% foul shooter on the season, but certainly no 2 bigger free throws he's shot all year than these 2 coming up. Just a 1-point game. And again, you want to get this to 3, obviously, to force Mount Union to have to take the 3. So both these free throws awfully big.
Free throw up and good.
Wow. What a big shot there by the 6'2 junior. String music, and that extends that lead to 2 points.
Zach Sabula played just 7 minutes in the win over Capital, did not score. Go back to the game at Wilmington. He goes 3 for 4 from the line. His team wins 74-71. He's 2 for 2 here, and they're up 3. Mount with the roll of the basketball. Picked up now by Bauer Malone. Wanted to go step back 3, long 3. And no good, and a foul with 1.6 to go. And Baldwin Wallace is 2 seconds away and a couple of free throws from celebration.
Watch the check out inside there, and you see Kyle Nader go up strong, and nothing's going to take that ball out of his hands. He wanted that thing awfully bad. And right now, they're 1 free throw away from game, set, match.
My only thing about that is if you look at when Bauer Malone brings the ball up, he realizes it's volleyball line. He's going to have to pick it up. When he gets across half court, I'm not sure if he didn't didn't want to or wasn't aware that his team still had a timeout left. Just something to think about.
That's certainly a good point. Right now, you see Coach Tom Howell going to burn his last timeout.
And now you know that you have to go. We saw 3 almost go in at the halftime buzzer earlier on a just straight 75-foot throw.
Yeah, we saw that. That thing was darn near in. But, right now, Coach Tom Howell basically telling his guy, hey, after you make the free throw, get back behind the three-point line, no fouls, let them shoot the three, let them do what they want, just do not foul. They do have one timeout left with 1.5 left. You're not going to be able to go 94 feet in that amount of time. So right now, it's make the free throw. If you miss the free throw, you're going to see a quick timeout from Mount Union, and you'll probably see the old home run play being set up if they can get to that juncture. But right now, awfully big free throw to try to close this thing out for the Yellow Jackets.
Imagine that the conversation to the left of half court with the Mount Union coaches is about, hey, if this is a miss, this is exactly what we want to do. Now look at the clock. You see it frozen for a split second. As you come across half court, watch when the basketball, watch where it starts. It started about a second and a half early before it froze. Now it's stopped at 1.5. That also might have been a little bit of the conversation.
Yeah, those nanoseconds right now are huge, when you're talking, you've got to go to the length of floor, 1.5 seconds.
Credit to the guys in the truck for catching that one. Free throw up and good, and that might have been the Berea heartbreaker for the folks here in Alliance.
What a win for Baldwin Wallace as they're going to pull it out. They sneak one away on the road. But what an impressive tournament run for the Yellow Jackets. They came in as the number 6 seed, and they win 3 games on the road to earn the OAC title.
Shout out to Tom Howell in his 4th year picking up this win, and a OAC champion, Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, had a weird game a couple of weeks ago where they played at home with a bent rim for half and had to shoot for a half, had to survive a 50-point first half, didn't have their big superstars at the end. They both fouled out with a couple of minutes to go in Colombo at 2:06 and Battle at 12.2, but they find a way to get it done. Free throws from Kyle Nader at the end. At one point, Kyle Nader well under 50% for the year, but right now, he's the guy getting the biggest hugs. Yeah,
it was a total team effort. You love the focus. I talked to Coach Tom Howell before the game, and he was so zoned into that ball game. I loved it. Being a former coach, you just love it. You knew that look in his eye. He was ready to go. He was rooting his guys on, obviously, but you saw the effort from his team. But as you mentioned, they overcame a lot of adversity. Not just the fact they had to go on the road 3 times to win this tournament, but the fact that 2 of their top players had fouled out in crunch time of a game that kept going back and forth. They're able to find a way to win down the stretch. They certainly earned this thing here tonight in Alliance.
There you see the look at the J Battle package and the highlights throughout the course of this game. Even the cheerleaders got in on the win, and they are OAC champions. 79-75, Baldwin Wallace with the victory, and just a tremendous game, a tremendous day. You look at the last couple of games that we've been able to bring you, and just to come down to the game-winning shot under a couple of seconds to go in the women's game early this afternoon in University Heights at the DeCarlo Center, to now here in Alliance, to come down. Baldwin Wallace comes into a building that nobody wins in. 17 straight home wins for the Purple Raiders. No one beats them in Alliance, but Baldwin Wallace did, and they're OAC champs.
Yeah, you have to give them credit. Here you are at Mount Union. They've won 17 straight. They're a perfect 13-0 at home this season, and yet they are able to answer time and time again. Even when Mount Union made those runs, they had that tremendous run to start the second half. Baldwin Wallace kept their composure. Even when guys fouled out, they kept their composure. Guys didn't go to the bench, pointing the finger, pouting. They were rooting on their teammates. The coach was zoned in. I think that obviously you saw the effect of his players. They were zoned in, and it took every bit of it against a Mount Union team that's had a tremendous season, who now will look for an at-large bid as they're 22-6, but they're on the outside looking in.
Also, what they're talking about right now 14-4 in the OAC this year, one of the 3 champions in the regular season. They're being given that trophy, but you can see on the table that's not the trophy they want. They want that one that's next to it that Baldwin Wallace is about to be in possession of.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it's what an accomplishment to win the OAC regular season title, but you can tell those guys, they're dejected. They're hurting awfully bad right now. You know, when you invest so much in something, you come up short. I mean, that makes it awfully tough, but certainly Coach Fugline is certainly proud of his guys for the effort they put forth tonight. You just have to credit Baldwin Wallace. Their defense really made it tough, and we saw how Mount Union struggled from the perimeter, and that ended up being the difference.
The commissioner talking about the 6th time that Baldwin Wallace now has won this championship trophy in their automatic bid, and nobody more fired up than both Kyle Nader and Jay Battle. Battle gets, you know, you hate to see guys who maybe their last game foul out at any point, no matter how much of a competitor on either side, but just, you know, guys like Battle, they get a second chance to play, and now the NCAA tournament, and your heart breaks for Mount Union, but you hope, being in the OAC, you hope they get one of those at-large bids like you were saying. Yeah,
you would think they'd be very deserving, but again, you know, it's awfully tough. You're talking just 64 teams make that field, so it's going to be tough. They certainly have a case to stand up on, but again, you know, Baldwin Wallace really kind of took away their dreams tonight as far as trying to get that tournament championship. You know, for Baldwin Wallace, the last time they won the tournament was in the 06 season. That's also the last time they advanced to the NCAA tournament. So you know these guys are going to be pumped up for that. And as we've mentioned, you know, Coach Heil's done a great job with this crew, and they've gotten better and better each and every week, and they've proved to be a very tough out all week in this OAC tournament. But we're certainly hoping best for Mount Union. Certainly a very, very deserving team. If they do get that bid in the NCAA tournament, they're going to be a tough out as well. I mean, they've obviously awfully good. We saw that here tonight. They just came up a little bit short.
And what's crazy is, I want to go back to something that you said earlier in the game. This is the first time that the Purple Raiders have scored 70+ and lost.
Yeah, you just have to tip Baldwin Wallace's cap for that. You know, that's a phenomenal statistic coming in, 20-0 when you scored 70 points plus. They had to earn those 75 points tonight, but Baldwin Wallace, time and time again, just seemed to have an answer. But what can you say about Jay Battle? You know, as much as well as they play as a team, he just sort of carried the offensive load. And there you see him doing everything but selling popcorn.
We got to get him to shoot some shots for the NCAA tournament for us, too.
And even after he fouled out, the thing that impressed me about that young man is you watched his demeanor on the sideline. You could not tell he'd fouled out of the ball game. He was just like those guys next to him trying to will his team on. He was still out there wiping the floor, doing the little things, doing the dirty things. But what a tremendous effort. What an athlete he is. You know, no surprise he can put up numbers like tonight. But to get a career high in this setting, in this atmosphere for the OAC title just speaks volumes about what a clutch performance we were able to witness tonight.
I love down on the floor right now, Kyle Nader is posing with Jay Battle, and I would believe that's his little brother to the left of the shot where we're at right now. And Battle and crew, the trophy is almost as big as the little man is.
Yeah, that's priceless right there to see that kind of support out there. And I saw that before the game out in the hallway, you know, a couple hours ahead of time, where these guys, they had little fans out there. These guys took the time to come out, high-five the guys. Some of them even tossed T-shirts around, and that just speaks volumes of the type of kids we're seeing out here in the floor tonight.
But just a tremendous regular season that we were honored to be able to do. 7 regular season games because Mother Nature won a round. But be able to be at all of these campuses sites and be able to see the men and the women represent the OAC throughout the course of the year and realize just how good this conference is. We talk about swimming and diving going on right now, and there's a lot of that. As you look at the final stats, in a lot of ways they're almost identical. Free throws and field goals almost identical. Rebounds are one different. Turnovers are 2-1. Points in the paint, roughly the same, but it was those threes early.
Yeah, it really was. And again, just a well-played game by both sides. You know, Baldwin Wallace had 5 turnovers at halftime, so to go that second half against the tenacity we saw from the Purple Raiders speaks volumes of what they were able to do. And, you know, heck, if they only turned the ball over 3 times the second half, they might lose the basketball game. You know, this was a one-possession game, a one-point game there with just a few seconds left. But again, you know, this was everything we thought it would be and then some. But, you know, what a tremendous conference, and no better way to top it off and then to see 2 big heavyweights come in here and duke it out tonight. And again, you just can't say enough about the number 6 seeded team finding their way to the winner's circle.
And again, congratulations to Baldwin Wallace. They'll take that trophy back to Berea, and they'll have a lot of places to be able to hang out and show it off. And just, again, just a tremendous season. We're honored to be able to be a part of this year and to be able to see exactly how this season turns out. It was a pleasure working with you. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I had a great time, Mike. Just, again, no better way to spend an evening than watching young college kids come out here, leave it all on the floor. You know, these guys are athletes. These guys train year-round. These guys bring so much to the table. And even those role players that don't get the minutes, you know, came in tonight and were sometimes a difference in the ball game. So, again, tremendous effort. Loved working with you tonight, and what a treat we saw here.
Just a tremendous job by our crew as well. Those guys always get tremendous shots. And congratulations, Coach Fueline, in the OAC regular season championship. But congratulations to Coach Tom Heil and the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, 79-75 winners here in Alliance. And the men's OAC championship, they'll represent the OAC into the NCAA tournament, coming out Monday at 1 o'clock to find out where they'll be. For Scoop Miller and the entire crew, I'm Mike Kern. Have a great night, and thank you so much for watching our presentation of OAC basketball here on NKTelco Sports.